On today's installment of 5 Killer Riffs, we're taking a look at one of, if not the, definitive hair metal bands, RATT, and we'll get started with the first track from their debut album, Wanted Man. That's the sound that made me fall in love with hair metal and 80s rock in general. I really like the way you've got these descending triads, an E major, D major, A major, and C major, but they're played on the upbeats the first time through, like this. Then the second time through, there is one chord change. Rather than play a D major, they play a G major, but all of the chords are played on the downbeat, like this. Having a close listen to all of these, it also made me realize how important accenting particular chords with upstrokes is, not only to RATT songs, but to the sound of hair metal in general. If you listen to bands like Winger and Dokken and so many other bands that were doing this sort of thing, especially contrasting the open low strings with triads played higher up, there's this very particular snap that you get by playing them with upstrokes, and combine that with guitars that often had floating bridges where if you played a little bit hard, they would warble in a really unique way, and it just leans in to that character that you can hear so clearly on this. So for a lot of these songs, I'm double tracking everything, one with a hardtail bridge where I'm really spanking those upstrokes, and another with a floating bridge where I'm letting the bridge just jangle a little bit by picking a little bit harder than I would otherwise. We should move on to a riff that demonstrates that so well, and it's off the Invasion of Your Privacy album. It's called You're in Love. RATT were using drop D a lot. This is something I never appreciated when I first got into them. As a kid growing up in the early 2000s, drop D was what you used for 90s and 2000s music, and I didn't realize at the time how many bands, but in particular RATT, were using a tuning like this. Check it out. It was a bit of a toss-up for me between including You're in Love and Back for More for this video, so Back for More definitely gets an honorable mention. What a great driving riff. We're at the midway point and we have to do Round and Round, don't we? It is inarguably the RATT song. The music video for it has one of my favorite guitar solo entrances where Warren DeMartini falls through the ceiling at the start of the solo. There's that incredible harmony solo as well. But if you only know one RATT riff and you only know one hair metal riff, make it Round and Round. Next up, we've got Shame, another track in drop D, and one that is from the Eddie Van Halen school of how exactly do you play and inflect that properly? You have this really cool driving octave pattern from the low D to the 5th fret on the A string. That powers most of the verse and half of the intro. The big contrast, though, are these sliding dyads. So you start with an inverted C power chord, then you play a G and its major third, and you slide up and down to an F. And what I think is happening is they're doing that slide up and down and then sort of pulling off with their left hand to the open strings. Then you've got these very syncopated hits on an inverted C power chord and a G power chord played on the D and the G string. This always takes me 5 or 6 tries to get, and this was by far one of the hardest things I've had to sit down and record doing this riff series. I still need to practice this one a lot, but let's have a listen to it in the context of the mix. And to finish up, Lay It Down. This is surely one of the coolest riffs of all time, not just talking about the hair metal era or the 80s. I love the way this takes the approach that a song like Van Halen's Unchained started with, and it just refines it. It combines it with that very cool halftime groove, and it's something that has been massively influential on me as somebody who attempts to write riffs and attempts to write music sometimes. I've got an entire video dedicated to the wrong way to play this, where you sort of just chug on the low D a lot. But of course, there's the accurate version where you're doing some pretty big stretches. So what I'm going to do in the riff playthrough is play both of them. I think they work really well together. Robbin Crosby and Warren DeMartini really were one of the great rock guitar duos, and I'd love to hear what your favorite RATT riff, song, or solo is. This video is powered by the amazing people who support me over on Patreon. If you'd like to sign up to the Patreon and get access to plenty of exclusive content, it is linked in the video description along with the music that I make with my band Ragdoll. For now, go grab your guitars, crank some RATT, and I'll see you on the next one.